everybody. Sad news yesterday because I needed to mentally calm myself down. As Bo Bichette is a Met and JT Realmuto is signed with the Phillies. And if that we can just talk about this for a second. As we all know, this is a breaking news podcast. 1 day late because if not, I would have yelled at the screen. What?
And Kyle Tucker.
We don't need to talk about Kyle Tucker. I'm already annoyed as it is.
T for Tucker.
T for Tucker. I thought that was timeout.
Nope.
I thought you were telling me timeout. I'm like, wait a minute. By the way, hi everyone, Caleb's here too.
Hello.
Most breaking news podcasts, it's just me yelling into a microphone for 10 minutes. But this time I did, or 5 minutes, but this time I brought Day Game Cleveland on as it's dark outside. There's snow on the ground and I'm depressed.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we all know, as anyone who doesn't live under a rock should know that the Phillies got Bo Bichette stolen away from them from a contract that was exactly what they wanted, what he wanted, 7 years, $200 million. He went to the Mets anyway with opt-outs. And JT Realmuto re-signed with the Phillies to, what is it, he's the highest paid catcher this year?
He is tied for the highest paid catcher this year with Sean Murphy.
I don't like this anymore. I was on the phone with Grandpop yesterday night for about 45 minutes, and we had a long conversation about the Phillies, and I said, well, now I have to go back to hoping Adolis Garcia is good, and Andrew Painter is good, and Justin Crawford is good, and Alec Boehm maybe hits the ball out of the ballpark again. Don't think that's ever happening. Now I have to go back to just being normal Phillies optimistic, right?
Yep.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I now don't like Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette will get booed every time he stands in this ballpark because he pretty much destroyed the Phillies fans' hopes and dreams right now because you watch the Dodgers go get Kyle Tucker, the Mets go get Bo Bichette. I don't know what the Mets are still not a very good baseball team. Looking at that team on paper, Bo Bichette does not change the fact that they're not that great. Because Bo Bichette's good, but I don't know what they're doing with the other two spots in the outfield. I don't know what their rotation looks like. And you have Devin Williams as your big-time free agent bullpen signing. So what do you think about this whole thing? Because you're very aggravated as well.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of things happening here. Number one, we just have to address the Kyle Tucker to the Dodgers for 4 years and $60 million a year with a $64 million signing bonus.
Meaning they're paying how much for him because of the luxury tax? How much are they paying for him?
Because of the luxury tax, it's something like either $120 million or $126 million. And then once you add the signing bonus on this year, it's something like around $190 million for this year.
I don't feel happy. The Dodgers, we can talk about this for days. The Dodgers and their act at ruining baseball is really, really strong. They also have Edwin Diaz on the team if anyone forgot that signing happened.
Yeah, the Dodgers are going nuts, and this is... It's not... It just kind of left me speechless.
Literally, you are really speechless.
Any of the other teams, hello? How does this happen?
Why can't we just be like the Japanese pitcher Amai who said he doesn't want to go to the Dodgers? Why can't we have more people like that? More people that want baseball to survive? No, we're just going to all die in 2027 when we don't have any baseball.
We'll see what happens there. Who knows? But then, on to the more Phillies-related stuff. Bo Bichette, that's a whole bunch of nonsense. I hate everything about that. What you need to know, listeners, is Bo Bichette met with us. There was mutual interest. He came to us and asked for a 7-year, $200 million deal, which is like a pretty fair deal. The Phillies came back to him and said, yes, we will give you that deal. Consider that done. And then the Mets swoop in and steal him for 3 years, $126 million, which comes out to $42 million a year, with an opt-out after each season.
So that's just so frustrating. If you're a Phillies fan, I understand how annoyed you are because yesterday the only thing that was able to somewhat calm me down was the fact that I went to the art museum and just didn't look at anything for a while. Yes, I went to an art museum. I don't normally go to art museums. I went to an art museum. But still, besides the point, I got to kind of pull myself away. Then the JT stuff came in, and the Real Muto stuff. I don't know. I wanted him back. We can't say we didn't want him back because I did. I don't know what they were going to do without it. I couldn't really stand the idea of going into the season with Stubbs and Marchand as your two catchers. That was not going to work. And now we know from Caleb telling me that Victor Carantini, the other catcher that we've talked about, has signed a deal with the Minnesota Twins for I really don't know what. Why do they not trust Ryan Jeffers? Is that the deal there?
Well, I mean, you're scooping up a veteran catcher who still has value for 2 years, 14 million, 7 million a year. I mean, you take that. Jeffers also has weird splits. He's not good defensively, and when he is behind the plate playing catcher, his offensive production drops from like an 800 OPS mark to a 600 OPS mark. So there is some good logic here.
So if you're the Phillies and a Phillies fan, one thing that is going to get really be difficult, and I understand, if you're a Phillies fan, how difficult it's going to be to say, okay, we were just in on this big name Bo Bichette. He goes to the Mets. Now we're in on nobody. Now we're just back to stand pat, roll it back, same type of thing. The optimism for the team was so high, and all of a sudden it just crashes back down, and I cannot sit here and say, I can sit here in both ways. Number one, I can't sit here and think they really trust the team that's on the field if they keep trying to add guys like that. Like, I don't now, but then you also look at it as they're probably going to run with this team into the season, and they're going to try to sell to you that the big thing they did was the bullpen was the big problem last year, so they fixed the bullpen. Well, you did fix the bullpen, but your problem was you didn't hit the ball when it mattered. So I don't know what to think here as a Phillies fan, and I don't know what anybody can think because they're not a Cody Bellinger team. They're not going to give him that money.
Mm-mm.
He's a great player for them. He fits exactly what they need in the outfield, but because I saw his lefty splits last year, that was nuts.
Oh, I didn't see that. What was that?
His lefty splits, he batted 353 against lefties with a 1.10 something OPS against left-handed pitching. And I'm like, okay, that's exactly what they need. They need that guy. He's a good defender. I would put thing out there, but we're never going to match the contract that the Yankees are giving him, even though he doesn't want the contract the Yankees are giving him.
Yeah, and that's just because I feel like he is looking for way too much, is my gut feeling, but to be honest, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know that whole market. I don't think they're in that market, and if they are, maybe they're like, okay, we put out some money for Bo Bichette, and if we want to, we'll see how this Bellinger market goes, and if he falls out of the Yankees' hands because the Yankees just decide, okay, whatever, we're going to roll with Trent Grisham and that mess that they have in the outfield, they're just going to roll with that. Maybe he falls into the lap of the Phils and they put an offer out there that is okay for him to have. I saw your face light up. What did you read?
You weren't kidding about these splits. It's over 1,000 OPS against lefties. And then a 741 against righties.
He's a left-handed. Everyone make sure we all know. He's a left-handed.
353.
Yes, he's a left-hander. Just everyone make sure we all know that. He is a left-handed batter playing and batting, that well against lefties. For the Phillies fans, he seems like a guy we would really enjoy. I don't think he's going to come here. I also think people are about through with certain players like Brandon Marsh and Alec Boehm at this point because we're just not able to get past the finish line with these guys. And yes, Marsh is a popular figure, but as a player, I think people are starting to get a little frustrated at him and Boehm around the team, personally.
Yeah. Well, that's just because there was this expectation where I feel like fans believed that they were going to take the next step every year for the past 4 years or whatever. And they haven't taken that next step that was kind of expected. And that's why fans aren't as happy with them. They still give some value to the team. They just haven't taken that extra step up. There is two other things to draw attention to. One, with the Phillies for this next season, there is some more youth movement coming in, and I feel like we need to give that a try. There's a point there.
Yeah, Grandpop was telling me, I'll cut you off for a second. Grandpop was telling me, like, we can't, and we were talking about this, we can't be like, oh, we want to see the youth movement, and then get mad when the youth movement players aren't good.
Yeah.
Which is something that I know that as a Phillies fan base will be quick to jump on these guys if they aren't great. But if we are pushing for the Andrew Painters and Justin Crawfords of the world, and then they're not great right away, you gotta let them be a little bit.
Yeah. A lot of these players may need a little bit of time to transition. It's your like superstar level players that don't need transition time. But even look at Jackson Holliday's first season versus second, and he's now expected to take another step this coming season. He was number one prospect. Not all players are going to come in like Paul Skeens did.
But you're going you can we can all thing is I can sit here and I can understand where the frustration is among the fan base and among these players who, if you are the players like Brandon Marsh and Alec Boehm, they have not taken that step up, and they're just the same. And I think it's about time where I don't think they're actually gonna make that step up. I think they're the player they
Yeah,
are, and
they
which
aren't.
is and which is frustrating because I don't think that player is good enough to win you a championship.
I don't think Marsh is ever going to be able to get his splits in order. Bohm could go back to that 800 OPS contact hitter, hit for like 20-ish home runs. He could hit that again. I think he struggled with some injuries last season, right?
Yeah, he had some issues, but he's already not that well liked with his attitude and different things that he's had over the
Yeah.
last few years. So if you're the Phillies, those are the two guys. Like and maybe it's because I'm a blind hoping person, but I still think that what
Just, I do think Stott's going to take that next
that's what
step.
I
And I
that
mean, I've been thinking that for the past few years as well. But there were real signs last year at the end of the season where he was really good.
that's what I was building to. If you didn't understand, that's what I was trying to build to. Yes, I again still being blindly hopeful, but I think Stott has a better chance because he's a good defender, and you have a reason to put him out there. Bohm doesn't look. The problem with Alec Bohm is he doesn't look like a third baseman. He looks too big and bulky to play third base and have no power. He's too tall to play third base. It feels awkward. It does.
Really.
It
We're,
does.
we're, we're going on, he's too tall to play third base. That's your argument.
Does he have any power for the position of third base? No. Does this team? No one is going to be able to sit here, in the middle of July, and think, "Oh no, this team can't hit home runs. This is not good, not good at all. They can't hit any home runs, and nobody notices that right now."
Yeah, that there is a point there where the Phillies' home run power seems to be more lacking.
So, any final thought with this breaking news and anything you think if the Phillies really? Do you think there's any move coming for this team at all?
Um, I honestly don't know what could be coming next. As far as other thoughts, we just need to mention JT got his deal 45 million over 3 years, 15 million a year. That makes him the tied for highest paid catcher in baseball next year, making 15 million. That is tied with Sean Murphy. That is 4 million more than Cal Raleigh, and that is 7 million more than Will Smith.
I don't want to think about that right now. Like that's he was a great hitter for them last year.
Yep,
We
I
do
think it was a little bit of a panic move after losing out on Bo Bichette. Like, oh no, we can't not get JT now.
Yeah, I think if you're the Phillies, you have to be, happy that you have JT and all that stuff, but you have to also think about it from a perspective of you have to understand that the fans are not very bought in if you don't do anything else.
Yeah, I'm furious with Bo that if what we saw, where if the Phillies didn't come back and give him another offer, and he just didn't go back to the Phillies and just accepted the Mets offer, that's really annoying to me.
Scumbag. Try.
I'm trying to take it a little lighter, but
I know.
it's really
I'm just.
annoying
That was
to me.
that was the nicest. That was the nicest mean word I could think of. Because I was trying to,
Hey,
not be
he
really annoying to him.
he's still human and trying to get the best deal for him.
But
Just
don't pretty much tell the Phillies you're coming, and then turn your back on them at the very last minute.
and then go to the Mets. That
Do you think he understands how big of public enemy number one he's turned into?
we'll see.
I don't know if he does. Well,
I want to know what this response is going to be when the Mets come to town the first time. When is that?
well, it's gonna. I don't know. Take a look. While I wrap this up, we always boo Lindor, but I think Bichette might get booed more than Lindor and more than Juan Soto. So while Caleb figures out when the Mets come here first, let's sign this one off. There will be a podcast, a guest series with Mr. Duncan that'll come out on Wednesday. I'm recording it on Tuesday. So unless there's any breaking news, which I don't really think there's going to be, but if there is, we'll be here. I will be here. Maybe Caleb will be. Caleb, do we have a Mets game yet? Do not find that yet.
June 18th.
June 18th? I have to wait till June?
I don't think we play the Mets until June.
Why do we not play the Mets until June?
I can't tell you that. I don't know.
Okay, I don't understand, but now I'm going to go watch some football and go Broncos, go Bears. Have a good night. I don't like Bo Bichette. Happy JT is back. Not exactly having a good time. Have a good night.
But you're
everybody.
rooting for the other Bo.
I am rooting for the other Bo, who's actually right now failing me, but we'll see what happens. Have a good one. Good night, everybody.